Chancellor Wiley, if you could talk near my camera, I would
Okay.
hear your voice better this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Maricopa County new sheriff's office here for the county. Big, huge office building, beautiful, gorgeous. Sheriff Joe Arpaio's new home. We're here, and we're here with three heroes. Ladies who have stood up for saving the children, ladies who are heroes, like we filmed around the corner here, of officers who gave their lives for people because they were a peace officer. These ladies are not peace officers, they're mothers, and they're giving their lives for our children. And I want to move up here with Paula. And Paula, tell us a little bit about these Arizona leaders, would you please?
Okay, yes, these are all U.S. government funded employees. And I spoke earlier about Governor Jan Brewer and the fact that she claims to be concerned about the children. And actions speak a lot louder than words. We are happy that she is taking responsible action by calling on abolishing CPS, but all of those more than 10, 15,000 children each year are still out of their homes.
Mm.
So whether she said I am abolishing it or not, what about all of the more than 100,000 children, probably under this woman alone, have been taken into CPS? And that's because they make sure they have more than 15,000 in their custody, because it's a perfect number for the amount of money that they make off of kidnapping the children and pimping them into society in these hidden places. So that's Governor Jan Brewer. And we have Tom Horn. Tom Horn is the Arizona Attorney General who we've contacted him. I've shaven his hair. I've met him personally, and I've delivered material into his hands and received zero response. And he even said that he would call me. He told me directly to my face he would call me, and he hasn't. I met him on May 4th, 2003. I'm sorry, May 6th, at a peace officers event at the Arizona State Capitol grounds. And I haven't heard anything from him, but he is among the top who is able to stop this abuse for our children. That's Tom Horn. Now we have Bill Montgomery over here. He's Maricopa County Attorney. And again, he reportedly has said that their biggest money making industry in the state of Arizona, and I can't prove this, I don't have witnesses, but I've heard this from a number of people, that he has openly said that the CPS industry in this state is the biggest money-making industry here. And that's really sad that it's a money-making industry off of children who may not have even been in danger, but they create lies and fabricate all kinds of stories. And then those who are actually in harm's way, that they put them in a worse situation. And he, from all the people that I've heard rumors from, is delighted about the profits made on these children's lives. And that's very sad.
That is a sad commentary on our nation, a sad commentary on Arizona, and a sad commentary that our children are considered to be money makers
Yes,
for the government. What a tragedy.
that is a tragedy. And then Clarence Carter, as we all know, he recently has been fired by Jan Brewer. And Clarence Carter was the scapegoat. They're all tied into this. This is not a Clarence Carter issue. This is of Jan Brewer, Tom Horn, Bill Montgomery, Sheriff Joe, even Eric Holder. Even Eric Holder. I saw a picture with Eric Holder with a woman, I forgot her last name, but she supposedly is an advocate for children. Her last name is Bagans. And she is in a photograph with this gentleman, and I've written her a number of times, and she has never responded to any of my contacts with her. And
Well, folks, we hear this over and over and over again. Not only the children being abused, being taken away, and not being given back, but we even hear the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in the United States federal system saying that Financial incentives are what's driving CPS, and it needs to be taken down.
Yes.
And that's why these ladies are here. That's why we're here. And we want to say to Governor Jan Brewer, we're here to say protect our children or get out of office.
Exactly.
And we will continue to work and pray with you and for you. To all USA leaders, God will not be mocked. And ladies and gentlemen, and I want to say to Jan Brewer, if you were only harming one child, Jesus said it would be better that you had a millstone tied about your neck and you were thrown in the deepest part of the ocean.
Absolutely.
Now, how many more thousands have been abused? Under your watch.
Under his watch.
Arizona Governor Jan Brewer and the rest of these folks.
Yes.
Sheriff Joe, do your job.
That's right.
Protect the children. That's a great deal of your job. So protect your children.
Absolutely. And just to show what this leads to, and I'd like to close here, this is an article about a global online child sex ring. And you could Google this title and read about the disgrace that basically from the USA is where the international pimping of citizens under 18 on the planet is starting right here in the USA. If we get this problem fixed in the USA, we basically have it fixed internationally.
That's right.
And this article right here, I want to add one thing about this article. We read recently about a woman and her husband working as a team, and they have over 70,000 clientele members who pay them $29 a day. Now multiply that by 70,000 people, you're making some money. $29 to have sex with children for 2 hours. $29 a day. And that's a part of this sex traffic international ring. So Sheriff Joe Arpaio, he's well known. I understand that he's well liked in Germany. And if you're looking at this right now in Germany, contact him. If you think he's a nice guy, then contact him and say to protect the children out here. We've delivered 4 letters to him requesting that he hold a meeting with AZOP. As a matter of fact, this is our letter requesting people right here. We're saying, please ask Governor Jan Brewer, Tom Horn, Charles Flanagan, Sheriff Joe Arpaio, Chief Officer Craig McKay to respond to their AZOP meeting request letters. Thank you. With a yes. So far, we've contacted these people. For the first time, Charles Flanagan, because he just took his office this week on Monday. Crystal said earlier that prior to that it's been Clarence Carter up until Monday. So he's the new CPS guy. And we've already hand-delivered a letter to him, but we need to see all these people. Now, Greg McKay, he is the chief of Arizona's Office of Child Welfare. This is a very important point. I've been hearing about him in the news. I've been contacting him. No response. It makes me feel suspicious. Is he part of it too? Now, why do I think that? Number one, when people are reaching out to you and contacting you and you don't respond, and you have to check their background when they're constantly writing you. And I haven't heard anything from him. And I want Arizona moms and dads to know his background. I'm going to read this to you. Officer Gregory A. McKay, Chief of Arizona's Office of Child Welfare Investigations. This is a little background bio on him. He's a law enforcement veteran. He understands, he's quoted as being someone who understands long-term effects of child maltreatment. He's a former AZ foster parent. He is tight-knit with the Arizona Foster Care Review Board, which refused to speak to us. And if I told you the conversation that I had with one of its members, I wish I remember her name. I think one was Shirley. Shirley and Marion or Miriam.
She's the head of the Scottsdale Tea Party.
She's the head of the Scottsdale Tea Party. And
Tea Party, do your job.
Yes, it is a joke. The way they responded to our call was just an embarrassment if the world could watch that conversation. But the Foster Care Review Board, he is a tight-knit member. So when we're contacting him so we could get to see these people, why isn't there a response?
Yeah.
And I don't want to judge this gentleman I'm just saying, we've contacted him. These are his accolades. Where's the response?
Yeah.
Okay, and then he's also, as I said, a former, okay, read that. He has experience with juvenile courts and adoptions. He is known to be able to identify chronic child abusers and safe child placement competently. He is the award recipient of Child Help USA's Heart of an Angel Award in recognition of his child advocacy, investigative expertise, and removal of child predators. Now, you got to think for a moment, when you have this gentleman here alone, sounds like he could do a whole lot single-handed.
Yeah.
That's quite a bio. So we have Greg McKay, and we have Bill, and Sheriff Joe, and Tom Horn, and Jan, who's hysterical over kids being abused to her shock, and Bill Montgomery. And we still can't stop this problem?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you that the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C. has committed itself to help us save our children, not only here in Arizona, but all across America. And we're here to say to all of these people who are abusing these children, God will get you. God will not be mocked. God will take you out if you continue to abuse these children. Whether you literally abuse them yourself, or whether you're a governor, or whether you're a peace officer, or whoever you are, God will deal with you. That's why Jesus said it'd be better, rather than have God deal with you, that you had a millstone tied about your neck and you commit suicide. Ladies and gentlemen, the three heroes from here in Arizona.
May I?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
I think it's worthy to note that the Child Help building downtown was funded by a grant that back in the day when Janet Napolitano was Arizona's governor had pushed this grant through, and it's millions. And so now they have to get 35 children picked up from their homes a day in order to maintain that building. So they take allegations. If a neighbor's mad at a parent that has children, they will fabricate a lie and call CPS and put forth that allegation. CPS, without any investigation, will go and kidnap those children.
Amen. I had a friend of mine in California that works undercover at a CPS department. She was told by her supervisor, your caseload is not big enough. If you do not get more children in your case book, you will be terminated. Their job depends on having more kids. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to look at kids in a different view, and they're going to indeed take advantage of that.
They're going to see dollar signs when they look at children.
That's right. And it is big bucks, ladies and gentlemen. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Big bucks is what's promoting this. We will get to the bottom of it. God will blow upon the money, and we will save our children.
Yes.
Good night, and God bless.